Hey man, I'm so excited to have John Corabi from the Daisies on the show. They have a new record coming out on August 5th called Make Some Sense. Some noise, not Make Some Sense, Make Some Noise. John, welcome to the show.
Hey buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So glad to have you on the show. Now,
we may have to change the title of the record now. That makes some sense. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, that would be amazing credit to me, man, to rename the record before it came out. So, hey, I want to dive right into asking you about the record. So, Long Way to Go, the first single, man, it blew me away when I heard it, and it's a very cool video with a huge crowd. So tell us about the tune and where that video was shot.
We actually, obviously we've had the record done since probably February, maybe end of February. And we got invited to come over to Europe and it wasn't like a festival per se where there's, multiple nights and 20 bands on the bill, whatever. We did a big outdoor festival type show with, I believe it was like a local band from Frankfurt or some in Germany. And then it was us. And then the Hollywood Vampires, Alice Cooper, Johnny Depp, Joe Perry, all those guys. And it was a great show. We had a blast. And I think they just wanted to get some live footage for the song. And it wound up coming out really cool. So we basically just used all live footage. It was awesome.
Now, talk about the actual meaning behind Long Way to Go. I took it like it could be one of two ways. I didn't know if it was about the band itself and the way they had to travel, or was it more about society?
Well, it's funny. I was having a little difficulty trying to think of what to write about. And the riff is actually, that beginning riff that you hear in the song is actually something that David Lowy used to play for like a little bit of a warm-up before we went on stage on the last tour. And, so he had the riff and, so when we tracked the song, he was in the control room with Marty and I was in another room playing with lyrics, and I kind of came in and I was asking them about some lyrics that I had, and I kind of just came into the room, and David was kind of walking out, and I said, "How you doing, buddy? What's going on?" And he goes, "Long way to go, no time to get there." And he just kept on walking. And I don't know if he meant it any other way. I thought, like, when he said it, I took it as, I kind of took it as, he was tracking, we were getting stuff done, but we were still still a ways off from being finished. And we didn't have a lot of time. Like, it's so crazy the way we record. We normally take a month and go in the studio, but it's not a month to record. We literally go into a studio, write the record, then record it, then mix it and master it, and we're done. So we usually do it in about a month. So I just took it that he was referring to that, like, we've got a long way to go and no time to get there. But it was just something in the title when he said it, like, we laid the track down, I had some melodies and just put some things together. And then Marty and I started tweaking some stuff, and we just kind of made it more about, and it was crazy, like right around the same time that we were dropping the video and all that stuff, that's when all that shit happened in Orlando, and it's just more about some of the current things that you're seeing on the news, with, the issues with, guns, no guns, you know what I mean? Like religious, everybody's religious beliefs and just all of the shit that we're getting ourselves into. So I just kind of ran with that, and hence we've got a long way to go and no time to get there, because we're kind of in we're in the swirl right before you go down the drain, you know what I mean? For lack of a better term.
Yeah, man, it's a great tune. Now, listening, working my way through this amazing record, I was very impressed with the vocal work on the tune "We All Fall Down," and that tune has like such a soulful vocal part, and it got me wondering, like, what are your vocal roots? Like, did you always start singing rock and roll, or did you have a bluesy kind of background to you?
No, look, I love bluesy stuff, but I'm not an encyclopedia on it. You know what I mean? I love Motown stuff, but I'm not an encyclopedia on it. I love everything, like country music. I grew up, my mom had the craziest eclectic record collection ever. I mean, growing up as a kid, it was, she was listening to stuff like, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Glenn Campbell, Willie Nelson, and then she'd turn around and listen to the Beatles and the Raspberries and Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, and then Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett. Like, there was just all this crazy stuff going on. So I love it all, and I'm not really I'm not a connoisseur of any one genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I half the stuff that I sing, I don't know where it comes from. I just hear a melody or I just hear the music and I'll just start singing whatever. And if it works and it's not too close to something else I've heard before, then I just wind up going with it.
Now, man, I had the pleasure of meeting you on the Monsters of Rock cruise, but you've got a brand new cruise that's like coming up in just a little while with a pretty important band. If you want to tell folks about that.
Yes. Well, we did it last year too. We went on the Kiss cruise last year, and but we're doing that one again. I'm actually becoming quite the cruise guy because I'm doing the Monsters of Rock in I think in October. Early October.
Yeah, we'll be there with you.
Yeah, I'm doing the West Coast one, Monsterwood, I think it's called. I'm doing that. My band's coming with me. We're going to play, and then they're literally going to fly home back to Nashville, and I'm going to fly to Japan with the Daisies. And then we're doing the Kiss cruise, and then I'm doing another cruise in February, another Monsters of Rock cruise out of February, out of Tampa. So
you are quite the cruiser these days, man. Yeah, they got to get you like a captain's license.
Well, my ultimate dream in life is to just save up enough money so I can buy a suit like Gopher used to wear on the Love Boat and just go for it. just be that guy.
That'd be awesome, man. So, hey, the other thing is that you mentioned right after the Kiss cruise, it looks like you're heading over to Europe for a while now. How's the band been received over in Europe, and what country have you been the most popular in over there?
To be honest with you, we did Europe twice last year. We went through once with Kiss, and we came back. I think we went back in November, and we went back with Whitesnake. And we had amazing crowds both times. It's kind of hard to suss out because obviously, Whitesnake and Kiss are such great bands. But we did do a few shows on our own. We did a show, actually, it was crazy. It was right after that, the attack in Paris. We did a show, and probably about a week later, 10 days later, and we obviously were concerned whether or not people would come or not. Completely sold out, which was great. They needed it. We needed it. So that was a great show. And then we did a bunch of shows in England on our own, and they were all sold out. So we've got a couple of headlining shows on this tour. We're going back now, and we're on our own. We're doing a bunch of festivals. We've actually moved up in the slot department, so we're playing a little bit later at the festivals, and we're doing full sets now. And then we're doing some shows in like Ireland, I think Scotland, Ireland, England, and just our own thing in clubs. And I just got word a couple days ago that several of the shows are already sold out.
God, that's awesome, man.
So
They have such big music fans over there.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell though. Like the fans in Germany are out of control. The fans in Italy are out of control. The fans in France are out of control. So it's hard to pick like one place. You know what I mean? I just love going to Europe as a whole, like playing any of those places. So.
I know they're big consumers of your guys' genre, rock and roll. So, man, it is an incredible album, and I'm so glad to get to talk to you. I want to ask you one more thing before I let you go. I know you've had a busy night. I've thought about somebody like you who has been in so many bands over the years and been a singer for so long. And I wanted to know, is there like a trick or a secret to remembering lyrics? Because you must know thousands of songs.
You know what? It's weird. It's funny now. We've been rehearsing the last few days here we're in New York right now rehearsing. And, even right now, like even with the new stuff that we just did, like I have to have my computer there, but it's muscle memory. Like if we do, we'll do Long Way to Go. We did it for that festival. We did the same thing. We rehearsed a few times. I listened to it at home. I listened to it on the plane, and then I got there and I had, when we got to Germany, we rehearsed there and I had my computer in front of me and we went over it 3 or 4 times, and it's just reading the lyrics and then you just kind of memorize it. I'm sure at some point, once my brain really starts going, I'll have to start using a teleprompter. And that's no disrespect to anybody that does. But,
right, it would make sense, yeah.
I just kind of read the lyrics. I have them there, and I try to get as far through the song as possible. And then if I have to cheat, I'll look and, oh yeah, that's right, that's the lyric. You know what I mean? And then I'll just go. I make mistakes, but it is hard, like we just did, technically we had 13 songs on Revolution.
Yeah.
12 on this one. There was 2 covers on each. So let's see, 13 and 12, it's 25 songs, but there's 21 of them are brand new, where you had to sit down and write lyrics. And we did it all in less than a year, so I kind of tend to get a little bit jumbled once in a while. So I just keep my computer, at rehearsals, I just keep my computer there. And even if we get on stage and there's one that I'm not totally sure about, I'll just have like one of my tech guys sit there and make me a little thing and tuck it under the monitor, and all I need really a lot of times is like the first couple of words in each sentence. Like if I just get the first couple of words, it'll go.
It all clicks.
And then I can just, if I need to, I can just kind of look down for a second and go, oh yeah, okay, that's right. You know what I mean?
Well, it takes absolute talent to do that, to remember all those things, man. So, I'm so impressed with you, man. And the album is absolutely phenomenal. It makes some noise, not make some sense, as I started to say. And it is due out on August 5th. A fantastic release, one of the best releases of the year. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So, John Corabi from the Daisies. John, thanks so much for being here on the show tonight.
Thanks for having me, buddy.